everyone, I'm Joanne with Quiet Waters Farm and Craft. How many of you love to drink a cup of tea, but then you try to figure out what you're going to do with your tea bag? Well, I'm going to give you a few different ways that you can use your tea bags. So first of all, we'll start off with the body. It is great because tea bags are an antibacterial. So like your black tea, your green tea, peppermint tea is probably some of the most popular ones. You know, I personally love black tea, orange tea, and strawberry tea. I go to Jungle Gyms to get a few of my teas that I get because I can't find them around here. So if you have a Jungle Gyms, you will definitely have to check those out. Because around here they have a lot of the spice teas, and I'm not much for spice teas. So, but anywho, we'll go back to that. So a few things that you can use for your body is if you're dealing with acne or your children are dealing with acne, it's a great way that you can take it. You can actually put it in, if you just have a face soap that you use, you can just take your tea bag, open it up, you know, get a couple squirts of your face soap that you use and put the tea in it, mix it all together and lightly rub it on your face, leave it on there for about 5 minutes and use it as a face scrub. You can also take the tea bag and put about a teaspoon and a half of honey in it, mix it up and use that as a face scrub also. So that's 2 ingredients that you would use as an herbal remedy. Now, some other things that you could use is if you have allergies, like in the summertime and your eyes get really puffy and you just want to keep scratching at them. But for me, I have it a little bit, but my daughters have it, so I just have them go lay down, and you know, I'll save my tea bags that I use in the morning when I make hot tea, and then that way in the afternoon, if they do have that puffiness, I can just have them lay down on the couch or in their bed, and I just lay those tea bags on them for about 10-15 minutes, and that will help take out the itchiness and help take that puffiness down. So that way I'm not having to give them antibiotics, I'm not having to take them to, you know, the doctor to get shots and stuff like that. This is an herbal treatment that I can use that doesn't cost me anything, and it's something, you know, easy for them and it doesn't scare them. So that's one way that you can use that. You know, if your husband, your brother, your sons are out working in oil, or say you're in here cooking and you're using oils and you have it all over your hands, and you know, you wash and wash and wash your hands, either they're dirty or they're real still slimy, you can take a tea bag and put that in with your hand wash and scrub that through. And you can also use coffee grinds if you do have coffee grinds. So for you coffee drinkers, that's another great way. But for tea, you can use the tea bags also. Now, with the summertime also, with sunburns, you know, when you make your warm bath for the night, get about 4 or 5 tea bags and just throw those in the bath water. Now you can use the peppermint, the green tea, or a black tea. It's completely up to you what you want to use. But put those in your bath and then get in the bath and soak in with it, and you know, lay in there for about 10-15 minutes until your water starts to cool down and you know, you're ready to get out, obviously, you know, but that will help alleviate some of that burn on your body. So try that out. Now also, when I said with the puffy eyes, now if your children come home with pink eye, which nowadays it happens a lot, you can put those on the eyes for 10-15 minutes to help with pink eye also. Let's see here, what else do we have? If you know, you're chopping vegetables, or your kids go out and play and they get bumps and bruises and cuts, that's another thing. You know, just take a cup of warm water, stick a tea bag in there and let it soak for just a few seconds, and then just take it out, you know, put your cut over the sink and then just lay that tea bag on there. That helps as an antibacterial, and it also, there is tannins in there that help stop the bleeding. Now for bruising, if you have that, you know, just pop your tea bags in the freezer, and then if you have a really bad bruise, you can actually put that on there for about 10 minutes and let that will help alleviate some of the color of the bruising. Let's see here, what else do we got? Now if you come home with canker sores in your mouth or cold sores, that's another thing that you can use frozen tea bags for, that will help alleviate some of that pain in your mouth. And also, if you have a toothache, you can take a tea bag and, you know, put it in there and just let that tea bag, all those tannins, work in your mouth to help alleviate some of that pain. Now, as far as for green tea and peppermint tea, you could make your normal cup of tea in the morning, and then when you take that tea bag out, just put it into another cup of water. Now, you can use hot water, you can use cold, doesn't really matter, but just leave that in there for a little bit, and you can use that as a mouthwash. So you know, you can use, sometimes they make spearmint tea or like a ginger tea. You can take those, or the green tea, you can take those and just, you know, put it in your bathroom and use it as a mouthwash, and fresh smelling breath. Woo! So that's another thing, you wouldn't have to go out to the store to buy mouthwash. Now, some of the things for your home, if any of you have cats, you know, this is one good way to deodorize the cat litter. Now, if you have the peppermint tea or an orange tea, or, you know, strawberry tea, like kind of what I drink, I just, you know, cut off the top of the bag, and then I just dump, you know, 1 or 2 of them into the cat litter, so that way that'll help deodorize it. I just mix it up in there, and that shows as a cat deodorizer. And you can use black tea if you want to. They all kind of do it, just like in your trash can. You know, when you take out your trash and you put a new one in there, when you're doing your morning tea, you could just take a tea bag and put in the bottom of your trash bag. That will help alleviate odors in your house. Now, if you have plants, like especially in the winter time, a lot of people will buy humidifiers, but you know, if you have plants that are outside that you can bring inside, that creates oxygen for your home to where you don't have to have a humidifier. So that saves you a little bit of money. Now, you can also take your tea bags, and it's mainly for black tea. Take that tea bag, open it up, and sprinkle it on the tops of your soil of your plant. That will help create nutrients and minerals for your plant to help get that oxygen boosting into your home. So, one other way. And then the other, let's see here. If you guys have any cast iron, I have a few pieces. So after I get done cooking it, I will wipe it out, all the, if I have any grease or anything in there, food particles, wipe all that off, and then I can take a tea bag and I can like scrub my whole cast iron with that, and then wipe it out with a paper towel, and it prevents it from rusting. So that way I don't have to use so much oil, because you can take your oil or Crisco or whatever, and once you know, get done cooking, you can put that on there, put it in the oven, and let it like a kiln. So it's completely up to you what you want to use, but if you have a tea bag that's just sitting around and you just use it, that's a great method to help not have to use other things. And then probably the last one that I would say would be for dust mites. You know, in the winter time, your house, you know, if you don't have the humidifier, you don't have plants, and it gets very, very dry in your house, and you know, you bring your sweeper out and you start sweeping, and then the sun like gazes in your window, and you see all these little dust things flying around everywhere. Well, you can actually take a tea bag with about a half a cup of water, you know, dunk that in there for a little bit, and then put that into a spray bottle and put about 2 or 3 cups of water in there to kind of dilute it a little bit. Now, I wouldn't recommend this for things that are white, because I don't really know how that would do on that, but for the most part, you could take that and just lightly spritz it over your carpets or your furniture, and you know, do that once a week, and then that will help take that dust mite out of your home. Now, the more that you do it, the more you're gonna get those dust mites out. So it's all about how you want to do it. You know, tea bags, again, I say, are antibacterial, so they are good for you, just like, you know, the ginger teas or the peppermint teas. Those are great antibacterials for when you have a cold. So there's so many possibilities out there that you can reuse for tea bags. So I hope that you've liked all these little insights. If you do, give me that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Check out some of my other videos, the cooking videos or the crafting. So I hope that you all have a blessed day, and thanks for watching.